Hi guys, FrostFangs here, back again, of course, with another Paladins video. I'm going to be trying to answer the question of whether or not Caspian is a failed champion release. You'll get what I mean in a minute. Obviously, I'll do that whilst playing him. It is quite difficult for me to simplify what I mean by this. I have talked about it sort of at length in other videos before, but I really wanted to focus today on Caspian and the subject of the way that he works at the moment and how they might not even really be able to change him unless they massively alter his kit. Although it does get a little bit iffy if you compare him to the other three characters that also sort of came out with him, like Kazumi, who I talked about in the last video, Lilith, who has a few problems that I've talked about before, and Betty, who I would consider a successful release. Caspian has a problem that the other three don't really have, although Kazumi kind of does a little bit, because Caspian is very build dependent, which isn't necessarily a problem on its own, but when you combo with the build selection being very restricted, he comes out to be a bit of a failed character, in my opinion, just because that is a big thing that defines what I would call a good release for a Paladins champion. Then you combine that with his talents, which I'd also say are a bit of a failure. They're not terrible, and I feel like bad talents is kind of something you can get away with on a character, but measured cadence is only good because of the build. Everywhere at once just doesn't see any play, and it's got heft. It's just kind of fine. There is a bit of playstyle variance, but it really isn't all that much. And like I said, the thing that really ties it together for me is just measured cadence being the only talent that really sees much of play, and it's only because of the build, which is just really locking him into such a specific way to play him. And yeah, to be completely honest with you, I don't know how they're really going to change that, other than possibly doing what they've done with other characters before, incorporating some of this into his base kit. This I'm going to tweak a little bit, by the way, before we play, because I need to make some changes to it. Also, just want to quickly clarify here, I really do like Caspian. If you haven't seen my other videos on him, go ahead and check those out, because I talk much more positively there. I think he is a really cool character design-wise, and also kit-wise, he has a hell of a lot of potential. It just isn't really utilized, and that's why I would call him, yeah, failure specifically. It's just, there's so much there. As to how they could go about fixing it, that's a much more complicated thing, and I don't really have too much I could say about Caspian as to how they should move him around without really losing what they want him to be as a character, because he does fit in a pretty specific spot within the flankers. He does feel pretty unique, and honestly, I do really like him. I just wish there were more ways to play him that weren't this super restricted measured cadence comboed with this, or else you're going to have a really bad time. You can play him the other ways, obviously, but they're not really viable, and the only one that is even close is this one, and even that isn't like crazy strong. We've got Adrenaline Junkie, Lifelink, Nothing Personal, The End, Shield, Nocturna, Rampant, Blooming Leviathan, an Earring, and Guillotine. I'm not expecting to do the best here because this is my first game in like 2 or 3 days, so gonna be a little bit rusty. We'll throw the Q through him there, cancel that spin. He does still have a pretty good amount of damage. I'll put my accuracy here though. I can already tell it's going to take a minute to get used to it. Also, don't get me wrong, they have done a few things to sort of fix parts of his kit that I didn't like. The F now feels significantly better than it did a little while ago. The Q, I think just being a thing with charges is a really interesting part of his kit, but is a thing that makes him often feel really restricted. The fact that you also need to run like a freaking 60% movement speed card in his kit shows you kind of how cooked it is as well. Like if you actually think of the cards that he is running with, it's even worse. Hello, Strix as a stun. Strix, do you want to do anything? Or Khan? I don't think he's ever seen a Strix before. I don't know what the hell just happened there. I'm dead, by the way. We're going to go up. Can we get over with this? No? Hello? I'm just dead. Hello, Zin. Missed the stun. It was point blank range. I still messed it up. I'm dead here. We're going to get a couple slashes. I actually did hit me with the heal, so we're fine. We'll go for the ult. Hello, Fatu. You countered me there. Don't know if that was intentional or not. Do like the ultimate, even though it is a lot of the opposite of what people like. That isn't a proper sentence. There goes the Strix. Not Strix. Why am I calling everybody Strix today? But yeah, the ultimate I like. I think it's a cool part of his kit, the way it works, but it is just like insane burst when you think about it, which a lot of people hate. That's what I'm trying to say. Would actually find it kind of interesting if it had some sort of CC, but I don't know if it really needs that because the stun is already such a big part of his kit. If it did something similar to like a mini version of the Q, so you could combo with your kit better instead of it just being like, oh hey, I'm going to get like way more damage now, that could also be an interesting twist to how he works at the moment. I'm going to just try and dodge this in here. I think I'm dead though. I don't know how I got hit by that, but okay. I've actually been doing a fine job here on heals. I just don't think we've really got a Khan, so it's kind of a weird one. There's a stun. He's not out. He's going to go for the ult. Can we get the other F off? I wish you could chain them together like a freaking Koga dash. It's kind of annoying that you can't, because that little timer really ruins the flow when you've got 2 charges. Even though I've not been playing the best here, I also haven't been doing terribly. I've been doing kind of just fine on Caspian. He also, in this format, kind of plays more like a damage and not really like a flanker. The only thing that you have in your kit that makes you sort of a flank is your melee and your stun. Other than that, he plays like a damage. It's like Kazumi plays like a flanker. Big reason I wanted to follow this video up after the Kazumi one is because I feel like they actually have quite a few things in similarity, just in a different way. There's a double. I can't do words today though, by the way. Can you tell? Let's get rid of him too. That's a triple. Get some melee shots in here. You never really want to melee with the setup because it doesn't trigger measured cadence. Again, big thing they could do to that is make the right click a viable playstyle, so you could combo the right click instead of the left click and get the same effect. Again though, I feel like that would be very difficult to do, and I haven't put like an insane amount of time into thinking how they could do it, but that would be an instant way that I think would make him feel significantly more varied, other than just running around ignoring half of his kit. Kind of what I do with Koga, but with Koga, for some reason the SMGs don't feel the same as just spamming the Vatu left click or the Caspian epic. I can't do words. Really am stuck in today with the gameplay. I'll try and, you know, spice it up a bit. Let's get rid of the Strix here. Never mind. We'll F through. Did we catch him? No, there's a stun. Pretty big hit there. Actually, I thought I was going to get shot by the Strix, but we're actually out. That is the Vatu wall. I'm also just dodged the Zin one. I'm dead. That is a 57 to 400. Might be the hardest loss I've had in the channel in a minute. The stats are on the screen if you're interested. We did fine on Caspian, to be honest, but as a team, that was somehow massively in their favor. We'll re-queue, jump into a game 2. Shoutouts there to their Vatu. Before we jump into the second one, wanted to edit the build real quick. I forgot to do it before game 1, and you don't really need 2 seconds of the reset on the F. You don't really need the 15 heal. It is a nice set of triggers on shields, but you don't need it. Having this at 5, and this at 5, and this at 3 is kind of the perfect way to run it. I think I tried to say this in the first game, but I didn't get my words out properly. But the one build you run him with really does show you how much potential he has with the stack gen up to max. You've got the speed up to max, and then the ammo. A lot of other characters have that or something similar, but without those, Caspian specifically is really, really rough. Has like a terrible win rate, not that I look at those that much. And with the build, it's up massively. The talents are kind of a different story, but talking about the build, you should be able to get what I mean with the talents. If they put him in the right direction with what the talents are trying to do, and they incorporate it into his base kit and then make his cards different things or work in different ways, he genuinely could be a perfect example of why Paladins is Paladins and really have 3 super distinct playstyles that are all actually really, really solid. But right now, like I've tried to say, the only way to play him is like one bracket that actually is like only working because of the other brackets. It's like one within one within one, whereas it could be like 3 and then open into more options and open into more options, if that makes sense. That might have been the best explanation I've ever given in a video ever, or it might have not made any sense and I didn't get my point across properly, in which case, next cut please. Yeah, next cut. Game 2. Let's roll the slide. Alright, well for game 2, possibly the most obvious matchmaking I've ever seen. We've got one person who's meant to carry on their side, and then I'm meant to carry on ours. We've got no border on anybody else. King of the Hill, Marauder, Sport. Hopefully I can do a good job of showing this off. Hopefully also Caspian does get pushed in a good direction in the future. I understand why it might take a little while, because the way he is at the moment, if you run him the specific way, it's technically, you know, just fine. Did I forget to hit save on the build? Why have I got the same one here? I feel like I saved it, but maybe I just forgot. Whatever. I guess we're going to run the same one. The gameplay is the exact same. It just works a little bit less effectively like this. Burst mode, Maelstrom, then Mortal Reach, Leanne's Shield, and then we're up against Agony, Defiant Fist, Skull of Raw Subjects, and Corrosive Acid. I should try and focus the Bomb King, but maybe I should also just try and go after other people. Try to lead the hit there on the Andro, and I did. If that doesn't show you how Caspian works, I don't know what would. I missed the queue and now everything is ruined. Again, I do genuinely really like him. I just see so much potential that isn't like being taken advantage of, that I really want to see him get changes in the future. Like some other characters I've had not like crazy long ago, and you know, Paladins updates at the moment actually seem to be sort of doing a good thing, but it sort of saddens me a little bit that he isn't like one of my favorite characters with just like a slightly different version of his kit. Why am I having a hard time with words? And also, why did the Dredge just get spawned there? That is one of the worst ones I've seen in a minute. Definitely talked about it in a different video recently, but I'm really excited for the next update. Can't believe that burst actually worked there. I really like the sword and pistol sort of thing he has going on, which is again another reason why I hope it goes well in the future for him. But the reason I mention the update is he doesn't seem to be getting any changes in the next update, at least at the moment, from the version of the patch notes we've seen, or from anything I've seen people talk about really on the BTS after they made more changes to stuff. Can I go for the ult? Sure, just burst through the Yag. I mean, okay, that works. I suppose the ultimate working with the sword is kind of cool. You can't deactivate the ult, which is a bit of a shame. I just wish maybe the 5 different charges of it did something different other than just all 800 damage. That'd be really, really cool, though. Maybe that'd be, I'd have to work out. That's the BK with the knock. We can get back on. Props to the BK, by the way, for actually running a knock setup, knowing he's probably the one who's meant to carry in this match. He's actually went for like a bit of a mean one. There's a stun on the Yag. We're going to just slowly dance away. I'm going to dash up this way. I feel like his Q also could do with being sort of reworked instead of it just being like a single charge stun. Or maybe they could make it a talent where it's like multiple smaller stuns or something like that. But you know, short stuns in Paladins can feel kind of rough, so maybe that's not a good idea. Really do like his inspects, to be honest. And it's just weapons, like I said already, are just really, really cool. He's got so much goddamn potential, and yet he's kind of only playable in one way, where you increase his speed by 60%, give him ammo gen and stack gen, and then you're basically only using the sword rarely and just playing him in the left. We're kind of like Koga, but even worse than that. He's not even meant to be a stance character. Don't get me wrong though, I don't want him to be Moji. I don't want to be a character, you know, where you're just kind of spamming both at the same time. You know, the sword should be like the close range one, the pistol should be the long range one, but his playstyle right now is so dependent on the pistol that you can pretty much just ignore the sword. I played terribly there and somehow still worked that out. I don't know what this game is. We're actually even. The more I try and think and actually get my words out in a video, the worse I tend to play. We'll dash in, go for a stun there on the Ceres. When you do get the combo, he does feel really satisfying. So I like the fact that he is kind of a combo flanker, because we don't really have too many over those. I feel like we have more combo damages than flankers. Maybe I'm wrong with that. I do feel like that's kind of accurate. That is the Yag just getting rid of the Earth. I couldn't really get to him in time because I only saw like the end of it, but we did avenge it. It's worth summon. Do I go for full life rip? Sure. Throw one more charge down there. That burst is crazy. Oh my god, the double stun lineup there is just juicy. I'm dead. Never mind, 170 health. Okay, we still got that actual triple double. Hello, enemy Yag. We'll throw the stun over there. That's like a bunch of projectiles, although it shows you how slow they are. Even at like a max speed, they don't feel crazy quick, which is fine. That's not really a thing I'd change though, because that is kind of the point. The Q, I don't feel like it makes it particularly fun to play, but when you do get the combo going, and that's kind of a part of the combo, I think it sort of makes sense. Could be completely wrong with that. That's why I want to hear what you guys think, to see what other people's opinions are on Caspian, because I don't feel like he really gets talked about much either compared to characters like Earth and Kazumi and Betty. I feel like Betty, even though she's I think older than Caspian, don't get talked about as much. I tried to F through him. Don't know why I did that. I guess I saved the team there because they're all grouped up. Ceres was going for a combo, maybe Andro comboed. I think they're partied. I don't know, that's like the third time they've done that. Ceres is actually doing a really good job on heals. Props to her. We'll go for the ult here. Blast through the Ceres. That's 2 hits. There's a hit on the, yeah, sure, Yagrath. I was trying to get the BK. There's a stun to counter out for a little minute. So dash up. Okay, what is this game? What am I doing? I don't know. I should be focusing the BK to be honest. I feel like if I clear him, they're actually not going to be doing that much. But then again, the rest of the team are also actually kind of doing fine. It's not like a hyper carry on each side. I feel like the teams are actually not terribly like a new. Don't know how you didn't get stunned there. I think I hit him with it. Hello, Ceres. She's actually playing really aggro. Like, you don't get the speed buff if you're not using the pistol or the ammo gen, really. So you kind of need to be constantly using it. I think I'm dead. There's a Q, really slow one. I don't think I hit him. Lilith killed him. I'm going to try and chase it here because we might as well. There we go. Freaking Yagarath Hunter will go for the ult. Hello, Andro. There's a double tap. Nice. I do like the ultimate, even though it is just, you know, raw damage. It's kind of fun. Didn't even see the bomb there. I think I dropped down the second it detonated. Hello, Yag. There's a stun for you. Stop you in your tracks and get some damage on her. I say as she just sits and face tanks the freaking 600 tick or something I'm hitting her with here. Andrew's on me. Okay, I really should be paying more attention. There's some slashes. Triple charge. No, do really like the right click burst that I just threw at the, you know, dredge for no reason. Missed the stun. Yag's just rolling in. I think she got stunned by someone else there. Was that, I don't know, is it Ceres maybe? It's a Ceres ult. I tried to F away. I was a little bit too slow there. I think I am still up just about like 90 health. I'm dead to Ceres Q. That felt bad. Hello, Yag. She's just zooming through. Alright, do we just deal with her? Sure, that stun didn't hit. I don't know why my stun sometimes doesn't work. I don't know if that's a bug with him or not. We'll go for the ult here, just blast her down. There we go, all the charges. Nice, maybe get rid of BK2. Actually hit him with that. Oh my god, the combo is actually solid there. I know where his teleporter is, but I can't deal with him right now. Missed the stun. There goes Andro. We'll kill Ceres. Kill both. There we go. Finished off Haven. Think I'm dead to BK here. I can't get through the doorway. Oh my god, I'm away on 40 health. That was disgusting. I really just can't get my words out, so I'm struggling with the gameplay because they kind of mix together in my head. Trying to zone them off a bit, because I feel like if I can just keep them off the point further away, then we will win, because the team is actually playing the objective. Got to give him props for that. Double stun maybe. I didn't get either by trying to go for both there. We'll kill Yag here, she's kind of annoying. Ceres with the ult I thought would stun the Yag. I don't know where she threw it that it didn't affect her. Maybe she's got a ton of resilience and I'm just not noticing it. No? I don't know what's going on with that Yag. I feel like she's CC immune sometimes and she just stood there. What a knock from BK. 373 to 340. Way closer than I thought it was going to be. If I was on a different character here, I feel like it would be a shred game for me. But Caspian, even though I am pretty comfortable in him, I don't feel like I do badly. He just isn't at max potential, even when I'm playing him like the best I possibly could, compared to what I can do in other characters. I'm dead here. We'll dash down. Oh my god, trying to chain those together would be so nice if they worked. Trying to save the freaking Khan, but I got knocked by the BK. I think this is over now, right? I don't think we can possibly recover this. My lifesteal when I'm freaking anti-healed is just nothing. Point actually move to the team. We'll go for the ult dash up. Hello, BK. There's a tap. There's a miss. There's a Q. Oh my god, that was terrible. And there is the defeat. Didn't see the score. We lost. I feel like I did quite well there, but again, Caspian isn't really a hyper carry character. I would say with Siege it's a little bit different. I can maybe carry a bit more on a Siege than I can on Onslaught with him, but even then, I guess we did carry 29 to 731k. I'm definitely happy with how we did there, but I feel like I could have had even more with somebody else. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That could just be the way like Impact feels with him, but I don't know if I've hyper carried enough with Caspian in matches like that where I could probably tell you, but there are the stats. I don't really need to explain too much. The stats kind of speak for themselves, to be honest, in that one. Don't think I've got too much here to add at the end, but I will say he is very fun, even if it is just with that one very specific playstyle, you know, bracket within a bracket within a bracket. It does still work out to be quite enjoyable, as you can definitely see here on my account. He's quite a bit over Kazumi, quite a bit over Lilith. She's actually the lowest out of the 4 most recent ones, and then Betty, who is also below him, but not by as much. Definitely talked about in the Lilith videos. I'm not really going to get into it here, but she's level 13 just because in the healer category, I don't really like her that much. There's not really too many reasons why I go for Lilith, and her kit doesn't really mesh with my preference, whereas Caspian's kind of does. He's a flanker, Betty's also does. So that's probably why, even though I'd call Caspian more of a failure, he ends up being played more often because he is more enjoyable for my personal preference, whereas Lilith I'd say is more successful, but not specifically what I like, even though yeah, it's mainly just her kit. I love her design. I think it's sick. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys all really soon. And as always, stay Frost, stay. It's been one of my favourite videos to record in a minute. I'm not even really sure why, but thank you for watching. If you're all the way to the end, you're a real MVP. See you soon.